Hello, WhatCulture, Simon Miller here on a Sunday, and the only reason you ever see my face on a Sunday doing ups and downs is because WWE had an NXT Takeover show, and you know when WWE have NXT Takeover shows before like WrestleMania or the Royal Rumble or the Survivor Series or SummerSlam, usually it kicks some ass, and when something kicks some ass, Simon Miller's phone rings and I go kapow, I'm like Batman. So let's up those downs for NXT Takeover Brooklyn number 4. I think it's number 4. Yeah, I remember a 4 in the logo. Number 4, where does the time go? We're all about to die. Let's up some downs. And we start with an up for this sign right here. No word of a lie. Every time I see something like this, it blows my brain. And I just want to say thank you, WhatCulture family, and thank you to whoever brought this. I want to be all your dads, which is a weird thing to say, but I've said it now and I mean it. I'm proud to be your father. And it's another up, and be prepared to get lots of those throughout this show, because NXT Takeover began with the Undisputed Era defending their tag team championships against Moustache Mountain, and it was so good I think at one point my body just stopped working, and yet here I am still with the ability to form sentences. I mean, this was an up. I don't even know what to say. All 4 guys just ran rabid from start to finish, and it had everything. There were cut-offs, back and forth segments, one hot tag to Trent Seven where I actually thought he'd won the match, and so did all of you, all the fans. I saw you in the NXT arena going crazy with me. It was just incredible, and the heat this had, I mean, what a way to open any kind of show. Any show, not just in WWE or NXT, you could throw New Japan in there, Ring of Honor, whatever, you'd be hard to top this. You could say there was less emotion here compared to when Moustache Mountain won the tag team titles during NXT UK's appearance at the Royal Albert Hall, but if you do that, you're just being a giant asshole. It made no difference, and the sheer speed of this, the sheer speed of the whole thing, it was a great poster to remind you how good tag team wrestling can be, and really, the WWE on the main roster should probably push it a bit more than they already do. And when the Brits hit their finisher on Kyle O'Reilly, I thought we all were just gonna collapse down on the floor, because what else could we do? And then he kicked out literally about 2 3/4. Eventually, O'Reilly and Roderick Strong did overcome their opponents after the total elimination, but nobody lost here. Everybody won. It had a hot audience from the get-go, everybody was invested, and let's be honest, let's just put Moustache Mountain, Tyler Bate and Trent Seven on NXT forever, and then get them on the main roster, because they damn well deserve it. Velveteen Dream versus EC3 followed, and you knew it was going to be good, because when you stared down at Velveteen Dream's ass, on the back of the tights it said, "Call me up Vince." I mean, what a human being, what a character this is. If Patrick Clark keeps progressing and keeps evolving like he is going to be, let me tell you right now, he's going to be a megastar. Up. As for the scrap itself, well, I thought it was decent. The first part of it was deliberately slow, so that when they got to the latter half and all the big moves came in, you could be more excited, and that's exactly what went down here. Especially a Dream Valley driver on the apron that hurt my neck, and I was just sitting there like a dweeb. The ending was kind of out of nowhere too, just because it was so nuts. I mean, the Velveteen Dream hit his elbow drop onto EC3, who was on the apron. As we know, the apron is the hardest part of the ring. He then rolled him back in. 1, 2, 3, Velveteen Dream wins. Now, you could say that this was the weakest match on the card, but that's like saying a pizza with no toppings is a pile of shit. No, it's not. A pizza is good regardless. And sure, if you garnish the top of it, that's gonna be nicer. But either way, you love that damn pizza, so don't go out there on the internet and go, "This match ruined the card." No, it didn't. It had character, it had pizzazz, and more importantly, it had the Velveteen Dream. He had "Call Me Up, Vince" over his damn rectum. Don't get overly focused on one thing, think of the entire picture. Wonderful. Then Matt Riddle took up this month's, "Hey, I'm sitting in the crowd at an NXT show, which means I've signed for WWE." And that's great. I love Matt Riddle. He's a lot of fun. I just hope that, WWE still allows him not to wear shoes. That was a weird grammar thing I did there. That's not how you put a sentence together, but up. Which brings us to Adam Cole versus Ricochet. Now, I don't like hyperbole here on ups and downs. Almost said that with a straight face. I love hyperbole on ups and downs. It's basically what the entire show is about. But honestly, I love this. Simple as, go watch it. Just a ridiculous match that's worthy of your viewing, no matter who you are, be that trainee wrestler or just a fan. And proof that no matter how Adam Cole and Ricochet are booked when they get to the main roster, these guys are going to fly because you can't hold talent down. You can't do it. So even if they get rubbish gimmicks, they'll find a way to make it work. Massive up. Knowing where they were going, they began with some basic wrestling holds before, of course, Ricochet started flipping around the place. But Adam Cole had a plan because he was like, if I keep that guy grounded, he can't flip around. So he tried. Ricochet, he was like a yo-yo. He kept bouncing back up. Now, I've said that, I shouldn't have said a yo-yo. I should have said a ball. A ball bounces, a yo-yo doesn't bounce, but we've said it now. Move on. The highlight for me was when Ricochet went for a moonsault off the second rope, and Adam Cole just super kicked him right in the head. I mean, that, after everything that we'd already seen, the crowd went nuts, I was going nuts. That's basically the theme of the show. Hashtag crowd went nuts. It is unbelievable. The finish then came when Ricochet hit a Hurricane Rana onto Cole from the apron onto the floor. And yes, that means Ricochet ran at the ropes. He jumped over like he was a fairy, wrapped his legs around the US champ's head, and then flipped him onto the mats below. Who else can do that? I mean, I'm sure there's some, but they won't make it look as damn smooth as the King. Rolled him back in, hit the 630 splash, and that was that. We've got a US champion, but I tell you, again, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Belts are important, and I'm really glad that Ricochet did win, but no one lost here. I've said that, I'll say it again. They just come out looking like tremendous professional wrestlers that have earned my respect, and I imagine earned everybody's respect. They already had our respect. Adam Cole and Ricochet, and they keep going up and up and up. Somebody kill me so I can come back from the dead and relive this all again, as long as that's how death works. Otherwise, please don't kill me. And then Kairi Sane won the NXT Women's Championship. I mean, my word, up. The idea here was that Sane had an answer for Baszler in a classic submission guy versus wrestling guy matchup. That just pissed the champ off after a while. She was like, all right, I'm just going to take your leg out. And she started working on Kairi Sane's leg. She was so aggressive as well. She was like some wild animal or something, and she looked utterly believable while doing it. I see a lot of criticism for Shayna Baszler, and I don't get it. Given how long she's been doing this, she is fantastic. Look at my finger going all crazy today because I can't use this arm. It's my wagging finger, my pointing finger, my stick. I especially like the ending after the two had just kicked the crap out of each other for a while, because it did a nice callback to the wrestling of old. Baszler blocked a flying able from Zayn, locked in a choke. So what did Kairi do? She just laid on her back and pinned Baszler 1, 2, 3 to win that damn title. It was so simple, protected both of them, and gave us a clear winner. NXT, ladies and gentlemen, where dreams come to become better dreams. That doesn't even make any sense. No one's gonna use that as a tagline, but I stand by it. Where dreams become better dreams. And then it was our main event. Ciampa versus Gargano in a last man standing match for the NXT World Championship, and just all the props in the world to these two dudes. Much like Okada and Omega, this is the third match they've had in NXT, and none of them feel alike. It's incredibly original, they keep coming up with new ideas. This is world-class talent looking at us in the face and giving us some of the best matches we've seen in WWE in years, and they ain't even on Raw, and they ain't even on SmackDown. Up. In fact, 2 ups. That's right, I'm giving it another up, and I'm breaking the scoring system, mostly because I know that will just wind loads of people up. Actually, no, I retract it, take it back down. Just give it 1 up. We don't break the scoring system here on ups and downs. I'm sorry, I got carried away. I want to talk about the ending as well, because not only was it really smart, not only was it really different, but it was another great use of past wrestling and making it work in 2018. Gargano didn't lose because he was too destroyed to beat the count. He lost because after he'd given Ciampa a knee to the face, his knee gave way, and that meant he couldn't stand up. That's one of the few times I'll use the word knee twice in a sentence, but it doesn't even matter. Round of applause all round. I can't clap, so I clap my head. I do that anyway. Just a head clap all round for these two. Otherwise, this was a war, and I mean a war. Before the bell had even rung, Johnny Gargano would attack the champ, and from there, I think the two had just decided, should we try and kill each other this evening? Why not? This is straight up murder. Chair shots, table spots are plenty, loads of moments where you weren't actually saw if either guy would beat the 10 count. It was mesmerizing. It was mesmerizing. There was even handcuffs at one point where Ciampa did get one of his hands cuffed, and he just wore that for the rest of the match. And don't even get me started on the amount of callbacks that happened here. This is basically like the Seinfeld or Arrested Development of pro wrestling. If you knew, you knew, and if you didn't know, there's still loads to enjoy. That is called accessible but deep wrestling, people, and it's what it's all about. There's that finger again. I'm not doing any of this justice because I simply can't. It's not possible with mere words. And there's no point going through it move by move because we'd be here all day, and again, you should just go and watch this. In fact, you should just go and watch NXT Takeover Brooklyn in its entirety, and even if you don't like it for some crazy reason, I bet there's at least one thing you enjoy and go, you know what, NXT is brilliant. If anything on SummerSlam matches this, then holy crap, are we in for an amazing weekend? What can I say? What can I say? NXT Takeover Brooklyn 4, I mean, fantastic, wonderful, great, good, fun, enjoyable, likable, lovable, laughable, entertaining, Fabu. We'll end with that. Fabu. I'm just going to keep saluting as the video ends because what else can I do? What else can I do? It's just blah. Now don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you thought about last night's NXT Takeover. Like, share and subscribe. Head over to WhatCulture.com and read yourself some articles. And you go and follow WhatCulture on Twitter at WhatCulture WWE. My name is Simon from WhatCulture. Thanks for watching Ups and Downs. And you know what? I'll see you in around about 24 hours when we up those downs for SmackDown, and maybe Roman Reigns is finally that Universal Champion.